It was a decision of potentially historic proportions to be taken just 2 weeks before the start of the Rio Games. But it was one the IOC bypassed in deciding to give responsibility to the 28 international federations, choosing instead to set the guidelines by which each sport will regulate the entry of Russian athletes.
Every human being is entitled to individual justice. There we have set the bar to the absolute limit for how Russian athletes can achieve to compete in Rio. All of them have to meet individually these number of very strict criteria.
Under the guidelines set out today by the IOC, no Russian athlete with a doping sanction will be accepted, even if he or she has already served the sanction. It's under this provision whistleblower Yulia Stepanova, whose revelation of widespread state-sponsored doping were key in bringing the Russian system to light, will not be able to compete. Indeed, the international sports federations must also carry out an individual analysis of every other athlete's anti-doping record, taking into account only international tests. Russian tests cannot be taken into consideration. We are very aware that the Olympic Committee has to strike a balance between collective responsibility and the rights of the individual athletes, and in the end they settled on a decision that any athlete with a clean reputation and no doping record has the right to take part in the Olympic Games. The International Tennis Federation was the first to take a decision in light of the IOC announcement, clearing 7 Russian players to compete in the Olympic tournament.